Welcome back to Building Business Bridges, better known as my co host calls it, B3. And I am Shara. I have a downsizing and organizing business called Sift and Sort while I sift and sort through your life. And I will introduce my amazing co host, Miss Diane Campbell. Hello.
Hello, Miss Shara.
Hello.
Nice to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
It's nice to be here. I'm Diane Campbell, and I own 3 businesses. Boney Booty's Beach Rentals. We own Flagler Electric Bike Rental. And also treetrends.com, which is a little woodworking studio in our home. And it's nice to have our guests here today. We have CK Select Roofing. We have Nick. Oh, there's the sign. And Tyler, welcome to the podcast today. Tell us, Tyler, a little bit about yourself. How are you a native of Florida? How'd you get here?
I'm Tyler. I'm like I said, I'm a CK Select Roofing manager over there.
Okay.
I've been in Florida my entire life. I'm local here. I was raised here. My kids live here. So yeah, just Florida.
So you saw all the influx of people coming from everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So were you born in this area in Flagler or Volusia?
I was born right at Halifax Hospital.
Okay.
Grew up in Ormond Beach, and I live in Daytona right now.
Oh, cool. Nick, what's your story, Nick?
It's long. It's long. My name is Nick Lavia. I'm also with CK Select Roofing. I'm one of the sales reps. Thank you for having us, by the way.
It's a pleasure.
I'm a U.S. Navy veterin. I live.
Thank you for your service.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I was actually stationed up in Kings Bay, Georgia, not too far from here, about like an hour and a half, hour and 45. Probably closer to 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah. But I know the area well. That's why I chose this area to kind of move down from North Jersey, where I originally grew up. I'm part of that transplant population that finally settled down here in sunny Florida. We're just tired of shoveling snow and dealing with cold, cloudy days.
I bet you miss the bagels or the pizza.
That we do, but Bronx House and Hammock is very good.
There you go.
I hear
Close
vanilla,
enough.
I hear Vanilla Ice hangs out there frequently, so I'm trying to
He
catch him on a good day.
He does.
Yes.
But yes, I am a sales rep for CK Select Roofing, and anything you would like to ask about CK, we're happy to answer.
So we're in a hurricane area. Everybody knows this. What happens to roofing when we're hit with a hurricane?
Well, the quickest thing you're going to see what happens to the roofing industry in general, especially in Florida, is you're going to see a massive influx of out-of-state roofing companies flooding to the area.
Mm-hmm.
The whole market just becomes inundated with out-of-state roofing companies trying to pick up all of the newly created work that's
Right.
That's the first thing that goes when a hurricane or even a tropical storm comes through is, people's roofs. Which there can be upsides to that, which is a lot of it does help out the local companies.
Take some of the burden off.
Yeah, it takes some slack from them. I do always tell people though, one, it's good to go local anyway because the money stays in the state and it helps out with things like that. And two, if you are going to go with an out-of-state roofing company, make sure it's somebody who's established in whatever state they're going from.
What exactly does that mean? The license insured and
check their Google presence. Everybody's on the internet. If they're a real company and they've been around, they should have a Google presence. They should have a social media presence, because if they're out of the state and they're not, you do run the risk of somebody taking your insurance money, promising to do work, killing their LLC and just running off.
if they go home.
Exactly. And then insurance says, hey, we already paid for this roof, so now you're kind
And
of...
that happened too often in Florida, huh?
Yeah, that's one of the big problems with the industry that can make it hard for everybody else. But what we've also seen here at CK Select Roofing, that is, if you do continuously show up and you're consistent and you do things the right way, it's really easy to separate yourself and become a company that people rely on and trust. The bar is really low. It's easy to show up in.
The bar's low.
The bar is really low, unfortunately, in the roofing industry, to where if you show up and do what you're supposed to do, it's really easy to make homeowners happy.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this off and on, probably for about 7 years. I've worked in the insurance side of things before, and then during COVID, I did take a break and sold motorhomes just because those were going crazy.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I got to go see what's going on with that.
Yeah.
But after that bubble kind of fell, I came back over to roofing. It's usually what I've always done. It's probably what I always will do, and it's just a niche I've found that's been able to work for me.
So Nick, we're in a hurricane. I need somebody to come out and give me an estimate on what's going on, and you show up at my door. What are you going to do when you get there?
Well, the first step is I'm going to ask you how old the roof is, okay, and then I'm going to want to get up there and do a complete full inspection to make sure that I don't find any critical areas that need immediate protection. In that case, we would tarp the roof for you, make sure your assets are protected. We would do a complete inspection, search for any wind damages up there, hail, anything that we find up there. We report back to you, and we provide you with next steps of how to go about fixing your roof.
And when the next steps, what does that look like?
So when it comes through on a hurricane, 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with a homeowner that has homeowners insurance. That would be considered a covered loss under your home insurance policy almost always. So the next step would be letting your insurance company know of what's going on, telling them what steps, if any, like you mentioned, like tarping areas off and stuff like that, you've taken or we've taken to protect the home from any further damage, because that's the first thing you want to do, and getting an adjuster out there to verify our findings. At which point we come out with, of course, and, meet the adjuster. Most people are honest people at work and doing a good job, but it's nice to have a contractor out there with the insurance adjuster just to keep everybody accountable.
So when the laws now with how long a roof will last versus what the insurance company will drop you for,
Yeah,
can you get into that a little bit?
I can, because that's a really contentious issue.
Right.
That's borderline politics and roofing. Like,
Ooh.
that's
Oh.
really,
Ooh.
it's really hot stuff.
Where's Alan?
Like the product we use, we are partners with Certainteed. We think Certainteeds are obviously the best shingles in the game. They're not the cheapest shingles in the game, but they are the best.
Oh,
They're
they
considered a designer shingle, above builder quality. But like Certainteed's base product, which is Landmark, is considered a 30-year shingle. No chance in the state of Florida are you getting 30 years out of that shingle.
That's under perfect condition.
Yeah.
We don't have perfect
So
conditions.
no wind or rain ever.
Ever.
Exactly. And Florida law actually now enables insurance companies that after 15 years, even if your roof's not leaking and you believe it's perfect, your insurance company can send you a letter basically saying, replace your own roof to protect the home, or we're going to kick you from the policy. At
Well, that's
which-
awfully nice of them.
Yeah.
After
absolutely.
15 years.
Absolutely. At which point you either have to pay out of your pocket to get a new roof, or you have to go to a lesser quality insurance company and get a specialized policy with riders on it that have like depreciation schedules or roof exclusions on it, to where the roof just isn't a protected part of your home anymore. So that's just one of the ways that insurance companies are trying to bite back on having to deal with paying out all the claims from the storms that have come through.
Well, it's no surprise that insurance companies don't want to pay.
No.
So, Nick, when you do the initial estimate, it goes to the adjuster. What kind of battle is going on there between the adjuster and the insurance and you? And
Absolutely. So first off, that initial topic is initial inspection. We don't provide an estimate there. We provide the inspection to identify any damages so they can notify the insurance company and notify the adjuster to come out. And we're basically their eyes and ears up there for the homeowner to hold the adjuster accountable for any damage that's up there. Yep.
So just to expand on what he was saying, to get to the where the estimate comes in for the roof.
right,
After we meet the adjuster, it goes one of two ways. One, they completely disagree with what we say and they deny the roof. That's rare, but insurance companies do what they do. What usually happens is at that point, they report their findings to the insurance company. Then the insurance company will use a system called Xactimate. It's a third-party software company, and they spit out what is considered a fair number for the roof. So it kind of takes the ball out of contractors' hands, so we don't charge an exorbitant amount of money for the roof.
yeah, I guess
And screw the insurance company.
that's
over.
the essence of my question. How do
yeah.
we know that there's
Exactly.
damage
Mhm.
or there isn't damage,
Mhm.
that they're going to pay for it or they're not going to pay for it?
That is where
Or-
it's nuance.
It seems like a battle
Yeah.
behind, and the client is usually the one that loses here.
What I've found, and I can't speak to this officially because I'm not an insurance agent or anything, is usually, just from my experience of what I've seen, is it comes down to the insurance company making a cost benefit analysis of your roof, looking at the damages up there, seeing the quality of roofer that's there, the whole scope of the picture. Is it going to cost me more money to deny this roof and potentially lose in litigation because this is an obvious slam dunk claim?
Mhm.
Or do I have an avenue here where I can deny this claim because there's not a lot of valid damage and get out of paying this homeowner? So again, that's why it is really important to, when you pick your contractor to walk a claim with the insurance company, it's important to pick the right people to do it.
So how do you stand out as CK Select Roofing versus all the other roofing companies?
I would say we stand out just from our ability of how thorough we are. We stand on business and being and having integrity, even when it's not to our benefit. Like, there are a lot of roofing companies, just for example, who will come out there and promise to like cover your deductible or something like that. One, that's insurance fraud. You don't do that. Two, it's been my experience that if someone's willing to cut corners somewhere, they're probably going to cut them somewhere else.
Okay, that's a good tidbit.
So it's I know everybody likes to say insurance companies are evil and they're all of these things, and there might be some validity to that, but they are a business and they're just trying to do their job.
Mm-hmm.
So I've found that the best way to help your homeowners get their roofs replaced is to just do things the right way, work the process the appropriate way.
Do things the right way.
It's a little harder. It takes more time, but like, I can verify it. You can look at our Google reviews and everything on the Better Business Bureau. If you're consistently doing it the right way, you're going to consistently get good results. Like I said, it takes a little longer, but most good things
to be
in life
trusted,
require.
of course.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've all heard that insurance companies have moved out of Florida.
They are.
And I'm sure that roofers are kind of moving into Florida because maybe there's business here from all the hurricanes. How do we deal with that rub of not having the coverage, but having the contractor to do the work?
What I'm seeing is it's kind of like the market correcting itself in a certain way, is that a lot of the new roofers who are coming in are doing what we're calling pitching retail, where they're walking roofs that have valid storm damage and just because they don't feel like dealing with the insurance company, telling homeowners like, hey, yeah, you got a bunch of damage up there, but insurance usually says no. Let me just write you a cheap out-of-pocket quote and have you take care of it and don't involve your insurance.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I disagree with it because based on the principle of, like, I'm a homeowner. If I'm paying my homeowner's insurance premiums every month,
and they better put a new top on there.
And I have storm damage up there, Mr. Insurance Man. You have no problem taking my money every month. Put a roof on my house. But contractors do that, especially out-of-state ones, because the way funds are released through the insurance process, we have to do a lot of builds up front before we're made whole for the price of the roof. And that can take weeks on the back end after we build the roof to collect all of our funds. And a lot of roofing companies, this is why I'm saying do your research with contractors, are paying for their next job with their last job. So they can't afford to build a roof off of insurance funds because they're not going to even break even or make a profit on it until a few weeks down the road after the build.
Interesting. I want to know how Nick got involved in all this roofing business.
So I have a military background and a law enforcement background, so I dealt with people in different scenarios. I'm a good communicator. I can connect with people. I'm a veteran. It also helps us a lot of veteran population down here too. I can connect with that veteran homeowner population. So I moved down here. I needed a job that's flexible to be around for my child, honestly. And this CK Select offered that opportunity for that flexibility. Me and Tyler hooked up, and he gave me a chance, and here I am.
Okay, well, that was the quickest explanation ever.
So what does a homeowner need to know when, it's like, we have a new house? It's only 2-3 years old. At what point should I get that inspected? Or should I wait? Or what do I need to do there?
I say after any major storm event, or at least once every 5 years, especially if your roof is getting into the double digits. And again, do it with a trusted contractor, because like if your roof is like 9 or 10 years old,
you're pushing
and he gets up there and says, "Oh, you have all of this storm damage. Let's get it replaced." Like, yeah, no, come on, man. So yeah, I'd say probably every 5 years, especially when you get up in the double digits, and absolutely after a major storm event.
So I don't want to admit this, but my roof is 20 years old. And
You got all your life out of it.
I did, and my insurance company did not get rid of me, which is blowing my mind. I should probably knock on some kind of wood.
Not yet.
So like in a situation like that, is the roof completely my responsibility, even if there was storm damage?
It depends on your policy. Again, I'm not an insurance agent, and there are tons of different policies. But by and large, if you have a normal homeowner's insurance policy, just from what I've seen in my personal experience, no, your policy doesn't. The rules of your policy don't change just because your roof gets older. They're not charging you less money every month for less coverage.
Right.
They're still taking your premiums. You still have that coverage.
So we're going from the estimate, right? That's where Nick comes in. He takes the estimate, puts it through the adjuster. The adjuster approves it. Does it go to insurance?
So insurance, so we have two kinds of adjusters. We have the field adjuster that comes out when you make a claim. They look at everything. They're basically observing and reporting. Then you have a desk adjuster. It's a person who works at an insurance office somewhere.
Final say.
Yeah, they review the field adjuster's report. Then they make a coverage determination. They find you have covered loss. They will take the details from your house, like your lot number, satellite images, measurements, and things like that. Put in an Xactimate. An Xactimate will spit out an estimate, at which point insurance will send that to you. And if you have a contractor working with you, that'll also send it to the contractor. That not only tells us what we have to build the roof for, there's like 20 to 30 different individual line items that are telling us how to build your roof. Like if it was a cake, these are the ingredients on how to make it. It's like tear off, haul, and remove debris.
So an actual recipe.
Exactly.
Tear it off.
So at which point we would get the first check that they send. We would build the roof with that. And then after we build the roof, we'd come by and collect your deductible, and we would send off all of the photos and stuff we have to take when we build the roof, showing we built the roof to the insurance company standards.
Yeah.
So what they paid for. They don't want to buy a Mercedes and get a Corolla,
Right.
So we show them we built the roof you guys asked for. Once they verify that, can take a few weeks, then they release the rest of the funds so that we can be made whole.
With a certificate of completion. That's the end goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the certificate of completion tells the homeowner that this roof has been replaced per the insurance and the adjuster's guidelines, and you're going to get the material that you asked for. What do we need to know for tile roofs versus regular, what do you call that material? Asphalt?
Shingles.
Shingles,
Asphalt
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I lost the word there for a minute. A shingle roof versus a tile roof, what are we looking at there?
Construction wise, and functionality of the systems, like the processes that they go through, they're virtually the same. It's going to say they have this covered loss, build the roof with these kind of ceramic tiles. Now, sometimes you can get into a lot of things because a lot of ceramic tiles aren't made anymore. They're all made by super weird niche companies in different parts of the country, and they go out of business like every 7 years. And a lot of these tiles are like 35, 40 years old. So, but no, mostly for the most part, the process is still the same: inspection, determination, construction, completion.
Is the timeline for tile roof versus the faster, slower than shingle roof?
Usually longer than a shingle roof. One, the tile roofs are more money, so insurance companies really look at it a lot more.
They probably push back a little bit more.
They try to, yeah. And then two, construction, it takes longer because it's just a more involved process.
How do you handle solar panels on a roof?
Sure. I just had a job. We just finished up yesterday. We just had his solar panels reinstalled today. We would coordinate with him to make sure that his solar panels are removed safely and stowed away from the house, so they're not in the way of any debris.
So you remove them.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And then we would, once the roof is complete, the town or county would come out for final inspection. At that point, the solar panels are good to go to put it back on, and then everyone's good to go.
And what about gutters?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Detach and reset usually, which means that most of the time the gutters are fine. So we just pop the gutters off, set them in the yard, build the roof,
Put 'em back
pop the
on.
gutters back up.
I've seen companies tear down a roof, put a new lid on, same day.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the system down. Most houses here are small footprint, so you could potentially have it done in a day or two, 3.
Barring acts of God, we generally do 50 squares in a day, which is roofer speak for 5,000 square feet.
Wow. Interesting.
I'd like to ask a question about wind mitigation.
Mhm.
Can you explain that? And
Wind-
why would somebody do that?
To get a discount on your insurance,
Okay.
a substantial one.
Mhm.
Also, it is just speak for putting on a better roof.
Define wind mitigation, first
So-
of all.
Thank you.
Like when I was talking about earlier, when they send us that exactament that tells us to put on a quality roof.
Exactament. That's an
The estimate
interesting
that
word.
they make. A lot of the times when we do that, especially since we're partnered with Certainteed and putting peel and stick, which is just a nicer underlayment in the valleys, using starter shingles, things like that, those increased what the wind rating of the roof is.
I got it.
And insurance will give you a discount for it. Kind of like if you get a car with automatic braking, your car insurance will toss you a little discount for that.
So wind mitigation is something you can choose, and the insurance will pay for it?
No, most of the time, just the roof we put on, especially with Certainty, just from your normal insurance scope, is going to qualify for wind mitigation discounts with a lot of insurance companies. If you want to make sure you get the highest level of wind mitigation from discount from your insurance company, ask them what their specifications or requirements are to qualify for full wind mitigation are. Relay them back to us or whoever your contractor is, and at that point, we'd come up with a solution to get there for you.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
No, because you have a new roof.
What's my fault?
It's
I
not.
moved
No,
here-
I'm just talking smack.
Yeah.
You don't need a wind mitigation. Or
What
does
else?
she? For
Well-
having a newer roof.
She might qualify for one if she can find pictures of it during the build, but if it's already on the house, it's already on the house.
I'm SOL then.
Mm-hmm.
But what else do we need to know about? What can we expect to pay for a 5,000 square foot house on that product, the shingles that you put in?
My phone's off. Is yours on? Can I use your calculator?
Yeah, sure. Calculator. There you go. You can do this in your head by now.
50,000 square. So 50,000 square or a 5,000 square foot house, 50 squares. That'd be 29.5.
29.5.
If we if we do what we do, which is we put Certainteed on it, we use ice and water shield in the valleys. You can get decently cheaper if you use builder quality shingles and like felt underlayment and other stuff I wouldn't want to put on something.
And so what about a 2,000 square foot house?
It's the same thing. There's a formula there
Okay.
that I
Would it be
that I
roughly
forget.
half that?
Close to it, maybe a little bit more,
Yeah.
because it's not a solid 1-to-1 on bringing it down because
Mhm.
we still have a labor minimum for having the guys out there and stuff, but a little bit.
And Nick, when you present the estimate, are you going with low, medium, high? Here's a low, medium shingle. Here's the medium.
Good, better, best.
When they are approved for the roof through their insurance, we give them options. So when they're approved through the roof through insurance, they approve them for the base shingle. Okay, but we tell homeowners if you want to protect your home for a longer term, here are your options for upgrades. And we explain the upgrades to them in person, so they're aware. There's upgrades for a stronger shingle. There's also upgrades for a longer warranty.
And the average lifespan you said is
15 is a good. I say 15 just because that's when insurance can call you.
okay. That's fair.
That puts the ceiling on it.
But could a roof last 30 years, even with wind? And...
Now, define last, like not letting water into your house.
Correct.
Technically,
Correct.
sure. Everything goes right. You have a lot of trees around your house. You just particularly don't get hit. You can still have a dry house in 30 years. Oldest roof I've been on was a few months ago. It was 26.
Okay.
Wow.
It was cooked.
Cooked.
There's
Toasty.
What does that look like cooked?
Yeah.
You ever seen on
Well
older
done.
roofs?
Overcooked toast.
They'll start getting a bunch of little black dots all over them.
Uh-huh.
That is the heat over time in Florida coming out of the attic because that's the hottest part of the roof, cooking off the granules, which is the asphalt
makes
stuff
Oh,
on top of
fry,
the roof.
baby, fry.
So when I say it's cooked, it's bare fiberglass mat up there, basically.
Wow.
You know, it's basically paper.
Interesting. Do you get free estimates?
Yeah, free estimates, free inspections, all of that. If you have if your roof is old and you need it replaced, but you don't have any storm damage or anything like that, and you just have to pay out of pocket, absolutely.
Okay. Good to know.
Nick, how do we get in touch with your company if we need an estimate? or
Absolutely.
no, we need a roof. Here comes the sign.
Get a sign.
Your listeners can scan our QR code right here.
Oh,
They
fantastic.
can also Google CK Select Roofing. We have an office Deltona, which is our first office. We also have an office in Jacksonville.
Okay.
We have a couple teams up there that do the same thing we do down here. Every sales guy has their zone they prefer working in. Some venture out. Some are comfortable in their zone. But they can call us at 321-5205
Awesome.
and ask for Tyler and Nick. Our pipeline really generates a lot from a lot of referrals, but also it's a lot of some door knocking as well, based off our builds, our local builds. We say, hey, you got looks like you got some problems there that we can see from ground level. Let's get up there and see what else is going on. Maybe there's something more catastrophic going on. We want to help people as much as we can.
And what's your
Awesome.
territory?
So I go out as far as down as Kissimmee sometimes. Sometimes I go out to St. Augustine, Jacksonville. Had a job in Fleming Island, up near Orange Park. So wherever I have time to drive that day, I'll go up and visit my homeowners.
Are they cold calls, some of them that come through?
Some of them are cold calls. Some of them are based off referrals, past builds, people recommending us. But
And I'm just one more
Awesome.
question. What's the
Go ahead.
time frame from start to finish?
Insurance, which is what I'm most familiar with, from first meeting to filing a claim to having a roof on your house, realistically 4 to 6 weeks.
That's without a national emergency.
Yeah, that's barring acts
Yeah.
of God, like I say.
Right.
anything
Barring
else.
acts of God or a
Sometimes
hurricane.
the county sits on their hands and they don't approve a permit for a while. They just
Mm.
let it sit in their office because someone's having a bad day there. I don't know. But
that happens.
everything going like it's supposed to, from claim to coverage determination to building the roof, 4 to 6 weeks is not completely unreasonable.
And then how long to actually build the roof? Like from when the
Oh,
guys show up and
Day. So if we build your roof on a Tuesday, here's what happens. Monday, we drop off a dumpster in your driveway, load your roof up with material. Tuesday, like I said, 50 squares, 5,000 square feet or less. We build it that day. We're out of your hair.
wow. That's impressive.
I've had a history of getting nails in my tires.
Is that from roof builds?
Don't know. I didn't pull the serial numbers off the nails, but do you run around the house with a magnet?
Magnet, absolutely. That's why I was kind of smiling when we started talking about that. I don't want to flex too much, but no, we're very clean.
Good.
Absolutely.
squeaky.
Absolutely. And a lot of other places, they have salespeople who sign up a roof and then forget about it. We check up on our own builds. Like if I get your roof approved and I'm building it for you, I'm there. I'm making sure everybody's doing everything. Gene, he's our superintendent. He's at all of our build sites too, but it's very hands-on. You'll always have one or two familiar faces from the company over there making sure everything's cool.
Awesome.
Because your house is your largest investment.
Exactly. So's your car.
You're perfectly warranted to be a little worrisome, to be a little finicky about it. Like that's totally fine. I tell people that all the time. Between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., text me about anything you want, any questions you have going on. After that, I'm doing other things. But
Yeah,
between those hours, generally, yeah.
So are all the roofers your employees or do you subcontract them out?
We use subcontractors for our builders, but we use the same subcontractors we've had since the company started.
Kind of what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
There you go.
And the only reason we do that is because it keeps us flexible. When you have in-house guys, first of all, in-house guys are almost always making less than subcontracting builds. And the reality of the situation is if you have cheaper contractors, they're doing cheaper work. Also, if we have one crew that's too booked up, now we're flexible to go to another crew we know does good work to get that roof done. So you're not waiting around for your roof to get built just because we don't have the guys to do it.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied.
We've learned a lot about roofs today. Thank you guys for coming.
Absolutely.
If anybody out there wants to call CK Select Roofing, ask for Nick or Tyler, and there's the sign again.
There it is.
We appreciate you guys being here, and thank you for getting up on top of those roofs in this heat.
Ugh.
It's crazy.
Ugh.
It's
No,
one
thank you.
one of the hardest jobs I think there
Uh-huh.
is on your back and dealing with the weather.
Absolutely.
But that's all the fun we can have today. Thanks, guys, for
Appreciate
being
you
with us.
having us.
And we'll see you again next time on B3.